kind of utilizing what they have, little things, but these are all minor corrections that can save money in the long run.
100%. I was looking through, and I have to give a gigantic shout out to HashPack and what they're doing from the community standpoint to provide as much information as possible across the breadth of the ecosystem within Hedera. I was reading through what you guys had written up in there as well, and kind of the OTC trading and marketplace aspects from HashFarms. If you could maybe touch base on that as far as like the OTC aspects and what that looks like.
Some people like to trade anonymously. There are some people who trade in larger block sizes, and while you can do that through HashPack via NFT secure trade, which is an awesome feature, when it comes to actual token transfers, we act as an escrow. So it's like a third party, so a trusted third party. I mean, I'm completely doxxed. You've got all my information. I've done a lot of interviews. People, I think you can figure out where I live. So I try to provide a service where people can trade, not anonymously. They can keep it discreet, and they can move larger block sizes without having to worry about the safety of someone rugging them or paying. Some people like to avoid transaction fees. And I look at this as a way I do it for free because we provide the service for free because it helps expand our network. We get to meet other people who are doing business within the ecosystem. And if it's a part that we can facilitate, it's something I do all the time in my primary form of employment. So it translates well to our current situation. However, with marketplaces, we had an idea of perhaps purchasing a marketplace earlier in the year, but we've seen the sector grow so rapidly that we figured it's best, rather than throw another pizza parlor in a college town, why not help professionalize the current marketplaces? There's only the one battle we wrestle with as investors and supporters of the ecosystem is the total addressable market. So like we're seeing a bunch of marketplaces come in, but there's only so big of a market. So everyone's share is becoming smaller. What we ultimately want to do is grow the entire marketplace so that there's just a larger pie for everyone to eat out of.
100%. And within that same kind of document within HashPack, structured products and direct lending, working with investors to structure products that best fit their financial needs. So from an investor standpoint, with kind of the contacts that you guys have, when you get into discussions with certain projects that are building out on the Hedera ecosystem, if there's synergy with your kind of relationships that you have, whether that be whatever stage a project is at, from a VC and an angel investor standpoint, or even at the basis, you guys are able to potentially make some of those contacts where if you do have investors that are kind of out in your contact group, you meet with a project and you're helping them for free, you can kind of create those synergies as well if it's a fit.
We do it all the time. And what we have a lot of angel investors that come to us and that do not, they don't want to broadcast their interest, but they will say so. A lot of investors right now are looking at lending protocols. They want to generate yield. So what we try to do is team them up with other projects. There's a lot of projects that want to avoid the more formal VC route. They'd feel more comfortable going with an angel investor who's also a Hedera enthusiast. Oftentimes, these angel investors who are Hedera enthusiasts have a large amount of HBAR to help, to help facilitate operations in the beginning. So we try to do these meetings all the time. Unfortunately, I can't. People don't know about it because we try to keep it private. We respect people's privacy. Oftentimes, we sign NDAs, so I can't broadcast it on Twitter. Like, hey, we put these two together. I do hope that if it's successful, that they speak highly of the project down the road, and we go with that, word of mouth advertising. But we've been doing it a lot. I will say this with regards to funding. If projects are looking for funding, it's a tough environment. Right now, the average person is getting my Wells Fargo account is almost like HashPack with my HBAR. Like I'm getting my money's getting 75 basis points stronger every month by doing nothing. So what I tell people is as an investor, I'm making 5% a year doing nothing. So how are we going to get you over 5% to encourage people to want to invest? How are we going to help generate a return? It's a tough environment right now. We do have some people who are looking to do direct lending, who are willing to not invest in a project, but loan projects, and they're willing to do it at a lower interest rate. And we're looking at that to help facilitate. It's just a matter of getting legal document. With regards to the loan, there's collateral that comes into play. So we're working on kind of a legal template to be able to facilitate this. It's kind of a Q1 project. I'm anticipating interest rates to go up another 1 to 2% over the next, I don't know, 6 to 12 months. So in that time, you know, we're going to see the lending market expand. So we want to be able to help facilitate that. But it's just my anal retentiveness. I want to make sure we have everything structured legally correctly. No, I didn't mean to use two adverbs, but structured correctly in the background before we start doing this.
Yeah, you touched on it a bit, and I'm just curious, like how you are managing all the time to provide these free services, because you mentioned legal and tax aspects as well, where you're starting to get into, you're at least starting to consider getting into, you know, doing more of that to help projects out. Like how much, you know, with the free services that you guys provide, how much time are you spending right now getting into discussions and really, because it's got to be a
growing.
lot.
Yeah, what was like 5 to 10 hours a week is slowly becoming more and more. So we're hitting a part where where do I expand the team? If we expand the team, what direction do we go in? We're getting to an inflection point right now. But with regards to time management, everything so far, I haven't had that many people use it. I get probably 3 to 4 calls a week, so it's manageable. But if it grows, then we're going to cross that bridge when we get to it. Interestingly enough, there is, as much as people think the market is dead, in my town of Norwalk, Connecticut, there's still a great interest in crypto. And there's a lot of people who are willing to kind of give services in kind to get educated. So there's a lot of people with a legal background, a lot of accountants in town. And a lot of people are looking at, they see this kind of as the future. Like there's a lot of lawyers who are looking to expand their practice. Great way to do it is by working with crypto startups hand in hand, give them that experience. Crypto accounting, especially on a retail level, is a huge concern with how to manage capital gains, both long-term, short-term, tax write-offs. So there's a lot of personal practices in here. Just a matter of teaming up. It's a lot of it's networking, and it's just kind of knowing we're acting as a middleman. It's easy to facilitate now, but if it grows, maybe we'll need, you know, to bring more people on staff. But right now the staff is free, so it's hard to find people who want to work for free.
No, I certainly appreciate it. As far as like where we could drive traffic to, like where's the best place to go and get in contact with David? How can I learn more about Pary Fund? How can I learn more about what HashFarms is facilitating? Is it through the Twitter? Is it kind of DMing through Twitter?
You can on Twitter. I'm also on Telegram. It's at Pary Fund, ParyFund.
Okay.
You can DM me on Twitter anytime. And I'll give you my Discord link as well. Yeah, a lot of it, you know, pardon my 42-year-old ignorance when it comes to Web3 applications. I'm still getting used to like the Discord and everything. I always joke, my 12-year-old daughter, who, by the way, she kills me in tic-tac-toe. I saw your tweet the other day. Yeah, I'm like convinced she's cheating. And then she's like, Dad, it's tic-tac-toe. How can I cheat?
Well, that's because she always starts in the middle. The middle block is the way to always win. If you let your kid start in the middle, at least my daughter is like, I have to start and I'm going in the middle. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I joke that my daughter's like my IT person. So like when she wants something, she holds it over my head with regards to help. But our lack of advertising is not intentional. It's more I wasn't in a rush to, you know, occupy all my time with everything. So I was kind of trying to take it case by case to see how the model would work. And so far, I think we've been able to help projects. You know, if there's people who haven't found us helpful, I always encourage feedback. I'd love to know, you know, constructively, how can I better it? Because, you know, I'd like to make my time as efficient as possible. But I also want to be cognizant of founders' time. I mean, if you're a founder and you're talking to me, you're not building, right? So like, how do we maximize our time together to make it as efficient as possible? But, you know, a side note too, that's one thing I try to tell founders is, you know, when you create these Discords, it's great that you have that community feedback, but try to manage the expectations of the community needing updates with your ability to build. Because what happens is a lot of guys get tied into these Discords, a lot of projects, and then people start questioning the price and they're trying to defend like the floor price of an NFT or the token price, the price of their token. And what their investors don't realize is that every second that they're bothering this founder, I shouldn't say bothering, but they're asking time of the founder, they're taking away from their actual investment. So we try to work with time management as well on that. I mean, I come with traditional finance. We expect an update once a month, right? End of the month, you get your update. I mean, I think nowadays Discord makes it a lot easier to facilitate real-time communication and everything. But you know, we try to help people manage expectations.
Yeah, and I mean, even like from from like an art standpoint, if you're a team of one and you create great art, but then you have a Twitter and a Discord and a Telegram to manage, it's like, well, I can't create more art because I'm in the Discord and the Telegram and on the Twitter 24/7. It's just almost impossible to facilitate. So, and I think that you could extrapolate that out with pretty much every project. Like there's so many different social channels. Unless you have a team or unless you have moderators kind of running the show from that regard, I mean, I can't even imagine how much time some of these people are spending in these social channels.
No, it's a lot too. And then some that we deal with some, there's a lot of projects we're seeing that are very bootstrapped. And, you know, one of their biggest expenditures is doing like the $50 a month nitro on Discord. And we were like, you know, do you really need it? Like, you know, because you're telling us right now that, like, you know, if $100 is moving the needle, we want to respect that. Why are you spending $50 a month on a Discord subscription when technically it's a free service? Like, you know, let's get you to the point where the subscription is necessary. Is it really necessary? Is, you know, what we look at.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Well, I really appreciate your time today, David. Yeah, definitely going to drive some traffic, hopefully towards Pary Fund and HashFarms, and I may be reaching out to you as well. But yeah, looking forward to having an additional discussion with you guys in early 2023 as well. And again, a shout out to HashPack. Shout out to the whole Hedera ecosystem. Check out what David's doing and the work he's doing with Pary Fund and HashFarms. So thank you so much, David. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate what you do for the ecosystem. Really do. It's people like you who make it a better place.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.